Hello everyone, it's Dom Sacco here, editor of Esports News UK, bringing you a roundup of all the top esports news from the UK and the rest of the world. Here, how's that? Is that a better intro than last week, than the usual rubbish I've been doing? I hope that was a bit better. I need to get a bit better at talking into the mic, stop having such a monotone voice. But anyway, you're not here to listen to me talk a load of rubbish with different intonations and pitches of my voice. You're here to see the news, so let's get right into it. So starting with the UK news, we have, I'd say, one of the biggest stories this week. Dota 2 is getting its own ESL Premiership tournament, the Skirmish, and ESL are hoping to reinvigorate the UK and Ireland Dota 2 scene. They've teamed up with Mercedes-Benz for this new Premiership Skirmish, and it's basically there's going to be top 20 players in this will enter a 4-week online tournament starting next month, and players are going to be randomly put together in teams, and there's going to be a £2,500 prize pool. So not huge. It's not a full ESL Premiership like we have in other games like League of Legends, like CSGO and Rainbow Six. But it's a great start. I think the Dota scene in the UK has been very quiet for years. We don't really have top talent in Dota in terms of pro players. So this is a good initiative. And there's going to be a LAN final as well at in Manchester. Where is it here? There we go. The Manchester's Bowlers Exhibition Centre on November 24th. It's going to be a skirmish stage there, and that event in December will also have the CSGO and Rainbow Six ESL finals in there, ESL Premiership finals in there as well. So good initiative from ESL, and look forward to seeing how that shapes up. This is an interesting one here. Reason Gaming have returned. The organisation that in recent years were taking part in the Gfinity Elite Series. That tournament is kind of dormant at the moment. Adam Heath, who runs UK CSGO, the UK Esports Awards, Rasta Gaming, and was the former founder of Reason, has has regained ownership of the org from Gfinity. So that looks like that's going to be in operation again, moving up to speed. They've got some Street Fighter players. And Adam said in a post on the Reason website, over the last 2 to 3 months I've been in negotiations for me to reclaim full control of Reason Gaming from our silent partner, so we can move forward with our post-Gfinity Elite Series plans. We have a lot of things planned over the coming months, so keep an eye on our social media for updates. So good luck to Reason coming back. They've had good success in the UK scene, and let's see how their Street Fighter players do going forwards. Another news story involving ESL here. They've teamed up with Intel and National Student Esports, the university esports body in the UK that run tournaments and things like that, to launch this Intel Future Gen program, which is going to basically allow students to develop their skills and improve their career prospects. So it's going to give the successful applicants invaluable experience with unparalleled access to leading industry figures, setting up students to go into the esports industry, basically give them the skills to take them to the next level, secure careers, jobs. Sounds like an interesting initiative and something that is welcome in the UK. This is not so much a story. This is more like an opinion piece I wrote based on some UK League of Legends drama, which we haven't seen for a long time. Barrage Esports, who are in the promotion relegation tournament for the UK League of Legends tournament, UKLC, have entered a second team into the Forge of Champions tournament, which is like it's a qualification basically for the UKLC. It's like a separate cup tournament, and they've made it through there. And there's been a lot of people questioning this sort of move whether Barrage should have had a second team that was allowed to get through this tournament, because in essence Barrage and Envision, the two teams that could be relegated from the UKLC, they're going to be playing Barrage's B team potentially. So Barrage playing Barrage, some people in the UK scene are upset that, you know, it's given Barrage more of a chance of progressing because they've got two teams. But this doesn't break the rules. I want to make this clear. I'm personally not blaming Barrage with this. It's, you know, other teams could have done this. Does that make it right? That's the thing I've highlighted in my opinion piece. Is it right? Is it fair? The rules have allowed it. No surprises. LVP haven't got back to me with a comment and have been very quiet on this whole thing. So maybe the rules will change. Who knows? Hearing rumours that the UKLC is going to have potentially a different format going forward. So maybe this will change in the future. But yeah, you can read my opinion piece on it on the site. Apparently there were some other problems with the qualifier. Seeding failures, disqualifications for a couple of teams that were contentious, one admin apparently, and yeah, the Barrage team making it through. LVP said on their Twitter channel, thanks to who took part in the Forge of Champions online qualifier over the weekend, we're aware of several issues that impacted the player experience and we're actively working to make improvements for future tournaments. Congrats to the Retirement Home Gents on their win. Retirement Home Gents was the name of Barrage's B team, and they did quite a funny mock-up of the guys as older people. Okay, so moving on from that, Nintendo is getting involved with UK esports. They've announced two Smash Brothers Ultimate tournaments, one for UK schools, this was a couple of weeks ago as part of the Digital Schoolhouse initiative, and one for UK universities in conjunction with National Student Esports. So yeah, the NSE winter season will host this tournament. There's going to be 4 weeks of 3v3 matches and 4 weeks of 1v1 single matches, and there's also going to be up to 5 Smash Brothers Ultimate regional university tournaments, which will accompany existing student regional events across the country. So yeah, good to see Nintendo getting involved at last. Let's see some more of this, please, Nintendo, in the UK and globally as well. This news comes off the back of an announcement they announced around, I think, DreamHack. Can't remember what it was now. I did it in a roundup recently, where Nintendo have hosted an official Smash Brothers esports tour involving tournaments including DreamHack and a few others, so that's good to see. XL UK sadly crashing out of the EU Masters League of Legends summer tournament. Yeah, so that's sad to see. Fnatic Rising are through though. They're through to the semi-finals. They're going to be playing Vodafone Giants, and the other semi-final is Mouse Sports versus Berlin International Gaming, and it was Mouse Sports that beat XL 2-1. I was watching that game actually. It was a shame because it was 1-0 at one point, but XL didn't manage to get through. I'm gutted because every year the UK shows promise in EU Masters, and every year we don't win it or get to the final. So I'm hoping this is the year we can make it to the final and even win it. Fnatic Rising looking good. They beat Devils 1-2-0 in the match on Sunday. There's a really good recap post on the site from our writer Megalodontus. That's a really interesting read. Go check that out if you want more info. And another ESL story, busy bees as always. They've teamed up with Ubisoft to increase the prize pool for the Rainbow Six ESL Premiership. So that's jumping up to £20,000 for the winter season. Fantastic. And sadly, Team Secret are stepping away. Team Secret, who've had a lot of success in the UK Rainbow Six scene and some success globally as well, I believe. Yeah, they're stepping away to pursue international competitions, and this leads Navi, the current champions, to defend their title and an open spot in the top flight for the next generation of UK and Ireland talent. yeah, so I think that gets started in October. Yeah, there we go, October 16th. And the final, like I said earlier, is going to be at the Bowlers Exhibition Centre. Oh, November 23rd. Apologies, I said the final was in December. Let's have a look here. I haven't actually written the final details in this. My bad there, guys. Yeah, it looks like it's November 23rd. Just going to have a quick look at this because I'm pretty sure I read the finals are in December. Double check with ESL, I'm sure it's on their website, but it's saying November 23rd here, so I'll stick with that for now. And the London Call of Duty franchise, as of unnamed franchise that Rect Global secured recently, have signed some players, and it's two of the best players from the COD Esports, UK and Ireland players, Matthew Scraps Marshall and Dylan Henderson. They've joined for the 2020 season, so great additions there. It looks like the London COD team is going for UK and Ireland talent, which is brilliant. And I was talking to Odie the other week, who's working at Rect Global now as their Chief Gaming Officer, and I was saying, it would be great to see the UK do really well in Call of Duty. UK talent, we've seen some teams do pretty well, but I'd love us to win something. And I think with what they've got set up there, this franchise spot, Odie's at the helm, they've got the potential. They've got some good players here. They've got potential to win stuff and do well. We've seen London Spitfire win. I think they won the first Overwatch League. So I know they don't have loads of UK talent. They have Korean players, but it's still representing London, right? It's still representing this region. So more of that, please. Let's see how they do. On Rainbow Six, this was supposed to be tied up after the Rainbow Six news I mentioned. There's been some distributed denial of service attacks on the Rainbow Six servers following the release of Operation Ember Rise, and Ubisoft is issuing ban waves to the worst offenders that they've identified, and that will apply to both PC and console players. So this is annoying to see. And on more DDoS attacks, Blizzard have confirmed that a suspect has been arrested over the recent DDoS attacks for World of Warcraft and some other Blizzard games. They haven't said who it is. It looked like someone that took responsibility was on Twitter, called UK Drillers. So I don't know if they're from the UK or not, but sort of claiming to be. But yeah, Blizzard said in a forum post, immediately after the DDoS attacks against our game service began, the Blizzard security team worked around the clock with local and international law enforcement agencies to track down the source of the DDoS. I'm being called in for dinner, so I'm going to try and hurry this up. Onto the ESI London took place last week. I moderated a panel there. That was brilliant. Go check out a look back on ESI London on the Esports Insider website, and hopefully they'll have some videos from the panel soon. I'll definitely share the one that I was a part of and do an article on that when ready. And lastly, on weird UK news here, and talking of London Spitfire, I saw this on Reddit at a bookstore. Can they do this? Spitfire Devon Toffee. And no, they can't do that, is the short answer. And London Spitfire have said, we're looking into this, thanks for bringing it to our attention. And the manufacturer is Infinity Brands UK. I've looked on their website and they don't have anything around this, so maybe it's been taken down, and I'm sure Cloud9, London Spitfire have had a strict talking to with those guys. So moving on to the global stuff, we've had the League of Legends World Championships draw take place. Very exciting stuff. 3 teams in each group, and then there's 3 teams in each playing stage group as well. Unicorns of Love have the former UK scene player Inax with Clutch Gaming and Mammoth. And then we've got the G2 in Group A with Griffin and Cloud9, very exciting. Kind of a weaker Group B there. And then Group C, arguably the group of death, Fnatic, Royal Never Give Up and SKT. I mean, that is explosive. That's going to be exciting to watch. And then you've got Liquid, AHQ and current holders Invictus in Group D. So looking forward to that. There's a new esports consulting services agency that's formed, and there's some real experienced esports people in there. Monte Cristo, Bryce Blum, and Lauren Flanagan. They've launched TheoryCraft. So brands looking to get involved in esports, I'm not sure you can go much wrong approaching guys like that. And we've also got Code Red, obviously, in the UK, and there's a few other decent consultancy firms out there. Louis Vuitton has announced a League of Legends partnership. The designer is going to be designing the trophy travel case to hold the Summoners Cup for the winners of the World Championship. They've spelt esports with a hyphen, which I'm not happy about. Yeah, quite an interesting piece of news. And they're also going to be designing some unique champion skins and a capsule collection designed by Nicolas Guesquière. I don't know if I've got that right. Louis Vuitton's artistic director of women's collections, along with other League of Legends digital assets. So that's interesting. Twitch has acquired the Internet Gaming database, which is interesting. They have like loads of info on games, like ratings, genres, reviews, I believe, game length, things like that. Twitch making another acquisition there. This isn't gaming news, but I think it's interesting. You're not a real influencer unless you have over 30,000 followers, according to a new Advertising Standards Authority ruling. And this follows the case involving Sanofi, a lifestyle blogger with 32,000 Instagram followers who shared a sponsored post promoting their own medical products of antihistamine and sleep aid. Under UK law, celebrity endorsement of medication is prohibited. So yeah, there's a bit of a grey area there. And in its ruling, the ASA said that they noted Sanofi's argument regarding the comparatively low number of followers. However, Sanofi was clear of how significant her audience was and therefore qualified under a celebrity status. So it looks like Sanofi's been penalised there. It doesn't actually say what the penalty is, but yeah, that's interesting stuff that will affect, I'm sure, gaming influencers as well. And the last few here, PlayVSI has raised $50 million for high school esports. Yeah, they're a platform basically for esports in the collegiate space in the US. The latest investment round brings the company's total funding to $96 million. That's brilliant to see, you know, in the education space, some greater support there for esports in the US. And finally, this is a big one. Overactive Media has confirmed layoffs, as report claims the Splyce brand is going to be retired. So they've confirmed layoffs. I don't believe they've confirmed whether the Splyce brand is disappearing, but we're under good authority, and word first broke from a report by Dick Zerto. But yeah, it's Richard Lewis. So it's basically happening, and they're going to shut down the Splyce brand as part of the restructuring. We've noticed a few people have left Splyce not so long ago. Grant, who's moved to Excel, Grant Russo, I hope I've said his name right. He moved to Excel a few months ago, I think, and Tommy, Call of Duty, I think, left. So they obviously knew something was happening, and yeah, it's not clear how many staff this decision will affect, nor what the future of Marty, the former CEO of Splyce turned Senior VP of Team Operations for OAM during the acquisition, will be. Go read the full report. Richard Lewis has written that there. Sad to see if that's the case. Splyce have had some good heritage in esports. But Overactive Media, for whatever reason, looking like they're going to shut it down as part of a restructuring and focus on their other brands. Yeah, so according to one former employee, the strategy now for the naming of the League of Legends franchise is to rebrand the Splyce team as Mad Lions, the Spanish org that was acquired by Overactive Media in May of this year. Yeah, I remember that. And the Spanish LoL team will be dropped as a result of this. So that's not good news when people are losing their jobs at all. You know, my thoughts go out to all the staff. Hope they secure jobs elsewhere in esports or elsewhere. and good luck to all the staff. And yeah, it's a shame to see this news. Thanks very much, guys. There isn't really, well, it's Sacco Snacko this week. I don't have pita bread, but I've got a bit of hummus left. For me, hummus and pita, 8 out of 10, I think. A good 8 out of 10. It's easy to have that as a snack while you're gaming and stuff like that. Yeah, running out of snacks to review, guys, so I'll probably retire that at some point and think of something else silly that I can do at the end of each video. Thanks for watching as always, guys, and I'll see you next week with a roundup. Oh, I'm doing something really cool this week I want to mention. I'm taking part in a game jam, developer and journalist swap, game jam swap or something it's called like that. It's going to be at the UK offices, the UK Games Industry Trade Body, over the next week, and it's in aid of Alzheimer's Research UK, which is fantastic. I'm going to be swapping places with a developer for a few days. I'm going to be making a game, and a developer is going to be and developers are going to be reporting on the games that myself and some other journalists are going to be making. So I'm very nervous about this. There's some high profile journalists there, and I'm nervous, but I'm excited as well. I've got some really weird game ideas, but we're going to be given a theme, so hopefully I can think of something. I've never made a game before. I've never used any game development tools. I have no idea what I'm doing. Some journalists have done some research. I've dabbled in using Unity and game development, but I have no clue what I'm doing, and I'm going into it blind because I think that's going to be part of the fun, to be honest. So I hope I do well. I'll tweet about it, no doubt. And in terms of the other stuff I'm trying to do, I'm really trying to get my book finished. If you don't know, I'm writing a book about, I know it's very sad, my World of Warcraft's character's backstory, because I used to do some role playing with my character on an RP server. I really want to get that done before my twins arrive late in a month or about 2 months. So really want to get that done. See if I can do it. I've booked 2 days off work to just get my head down and see if I can get like 10,000 words out. I've done 74,000 words. The book's going to be about 100,000 or so, so hopefully I'll do that. So I've got a hell of a lot on at the moment. Work is busy with British Esports. Esports News UK, there's a lot of news flying around, so warning if I go a bit quiet over the next week or two. But thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.